Welcome back. This is the last episode of the recording session. We managed to reach level 15. I wanted to see this. Okay, I have to get... Now, if I remember correctly... Ah, finally! Finally. I think, if I'm not mistaken, no, it's difficult to tell what it reacts to, like where it replaces. I find that unintuitive. If I were to create a game such as this, or let's just say it like this, if I were to actually be working on my game, which is inspired by this, then I would try to solve that issue. Now, should I go to the... Was I already in the North Forest? Or in the Rose Forest? No, I was in the Rose Forest. Let's go to the North Forest. But first, let's quickly exterminate everything in my path. I'm not used to hearing a lot of the blue light organization cars. I'm incapable of differentiating between fire department, what are the police and ambulance. I think when I saw them, they were always ambulances. I'm not sure if I should see that as a good or a bad sign. I mean, I think I view that as something good, because everybody can have illnesses, or like breaking a bone, or falling down the stairs, or whatever. That can happen to everybody because people get old. But fire is something which is causes a lot of... Now the question is, does fire cause more damage or heart disease or whatever? But I mean, fire, it's like property damage. I don't know. But like police, it's a sign of society not being right. mean, it's good when there is police that actually does stuff, but if the police is needed for more than like traffic stuff, that is not ideal. But yeah, Switzerland is relatively safe compared to other countries. Yeah. Police is a fascinating topic. On my other channel I would talk about it. But here is the gaming channel. Oh, no depressing topics here. I've recently something came out which is depressing, not for Switzerland but from England, but yeah, Switzerland probably has similar issues, just scale might be a bit different and who is doing it, but yeah, anyway. The more I always wanted to make a game like this myself because it sounds like fun. But the more I think, and I started it. But then I got sidetracked with my master. Yeah, unimportant stuff. Like your masters, and yeah, in my case it's really unimportant because the bachelor is already sufficient for everything I want to do. It was good for social reasons because I got to know many people who I wouldn't have known. But and I also learned a few things about myself and about the world thanks to the master. But at the end, career-wise, it was relatively pointless. I think I already went there. Yeah. Let's go. But also, when I say I learned a few things about myself, that is not necessarily a happy thing, because for example, one thing I've learned is if I have too much freedom, then I will have a lot less discipline. And then I have a lot less discipline, then I let things go and I work less on my free time projects. I'm not the best worker, stuff like this. So also I noticed that perhaps embedded is a thing I admire, but not a thing I want to do myself. Which is also a nice thing to find out, but it's also kind of it has been a bit of a thought-provoking time to make me realize that hey, I need money. So 2,000 more and then I can go get the quest Now I have to go. I always said, yeah, that is hard. PLC programming is easy. I know this stuff says nothing of people not from technical fields have no clue what I say when I say embedded and PLC. And even some of the technical fields don't know because it's a specific thing. It's a commonly used thing. Essentially, both are programming, both are not in both cases, you don't program a computer. But technically, embedded could be a computer, but a very specific one. And technically, PLC programming is also a computer, just like, or could be a computer, just like in the railway station, the screens that just show the timetable when the extreme departs, or the screens, I assume, the advertisement screens sometimes also are just computers with one programming running on it. Again, in this sense, they could be called computers, but they are a bit of a weird sort, both of them. I mean, weird in a very task-specific way. Yeah, I could, since I don't do stressful stuff at the moment, I could explain you what the PLC is and what the different forms of computing devices are. One is, I think most people know, the personal computer, PC. That stands for, PC, a personal computer. A computer is essentially, you have algorithmic logic controller. Is it controller? I don't know. Algorithmic logic unit, ALU in short. And there they can just add two numbers or subtract, like you can do arithmetic. Arithmetic, it's a German, I know how it looks like, I know how it sounds like, I just failed to do it myself at the moment. Arithmetic, something like this. Anyway, it does math. You have a thing that does math, and when you do, then you can say add this number or subtract this number, or what should I say? I could also say shift the number to the right, so it's like turn 11 to 110, or 96 to 960, just in binary instead of decimal. All of you quickly. I can use this all for money. And so you have a thing that just does math with two numbers. but it can do a lot of math. Then there it also has a bit of memory, registers, and probably also, yeah, let's just say it has a bit of memory. These are called registers, and it has a math thing. And then this thing combined is more or less the CPU in a computer. And then you could also have, like, it just does very good. It's very good at graphical math, and it does, like, if you send one command, it does it 100 times at the same time, just for different values. So you can have send in 100 values into the memory, and then you add to all 100 of them the number 1. That would be the graphical GPU, graphical processing unit. And if you have but it's like the thing. The difference between the CPU and the GPU is the CPU is like you have one expert carpenter that does a lot of that can do a lot of things. He is an expert in carpentry and he knows how to do a lot of things. But since he's one person, he can only do so much. And then you can have 16 carpenters, and then you have a 16-core CPU. But yeah. And then there is also the possibility that you have a factory where you employ 100 people. They all do one operation. They can do that operation very good. But and so they are very fast. But they always can. But you always have to, like, create the factory so that it does one thing at a time. So then you have 100 workers, but they all cut the wood into boards or whatever. That's the graphical, the GPU. Then you can have microcontrollers. The difference between a microcontroller and the computer is a microcontroller is essentially the whole computer on a single chip. Like you have in the personal computer, you have in a personal computer you have one chip for the CPU, one chip for the GPU, one chip for the RAM. RAM is random access memory. That means you can just store things at any point and take it out at any point. It's let's say like the garage where you just put things temporarily because you don't want to put it too far away, but you also don't want to have it in your house all the time. So that's like the RAM. And if you have a big RAM, you can do a lot of things. If you have a small RAM, then you always have to go put it into the public storehouse that is like half a town away, and that because of that it takes a lot of time to get it again. And then what else is there? Then for example the SSD or the hard disk, those are like two different types of storage units, but they are in the town hall instead of in the garage of your house, like the RAM is. But yeah, these are all computer things, personal computer things, and the server is similar to a computer. It's just optimized for large scale stuff. It's like the difference between a house and an office building, or the difference between a personal car and a truck, or something like this. And then I have then the microcontroller is like it's small. It has everything on one single chip, so not like the personal computer that has a lot of chips just all in the same casing, or the server which has a lot of casing all in the same building. The microcontroller has everything on a single chip, but because of that it's also a bit less. It's optimized for reliability, and it's optimized for being cheap. And what else? Yeah, it's essentially you want to. It's if you have a camera, a digital camera, or a water cooker, or whatever, and it has a display in it. It has motors that it controls, and it has various things that it can do. Then that is a microcontroller. So oh yeah, I forgot. It's small. It's cheap. It's energy efficient, so it doesn't take a lot of electricity. So that's it's not because of environmental friendliness or whatever. It's because if you have a device and like the camera, you want to have to you want to have it to have a long runtime. So ideally you want to recharge the camera once a month and not every evening. And in some cases, like some devices, for example, when you have an alarm for your house, an alarm, I mean, it detects when a window is opened for a robber. Then there are certain things which react to temperature difference and light and stuff like this. It creates energy out of these very tiny amounts of energies, but they are enough for charge the microcontroller in it. And since they are enough to charge the microcontroller, they can run indefinitely. So you can only have to mount it once, and then for the rest of its functional life, they will remain there uninterrupted. And once you but that takes a very small amount of energy, and that's why these are optimized for low energy. So you don't have to connect wires to these things to every little sensor, which makes it more obvious where it is, and it makes it more annoying to install. Yeah, and the difference between yeah, of course, a real computer, you cannot run it on a battery. You cannot run it on a battery for a long time, and you can certainly not run it based on temperature fluctuations. The energy you can get out of the temperature fluctuations. Oh, nice. Now I can grind here. I thought I'm not high enough level for this cave. Anyway, microcontrollers, the normal computers, they have an operating system. The most simple task of an operating system is it has one unit, or it depends on the number, of course, your computer has, but let's say it had one. You have a company with one carpenter, and he has 20 customers that they all want the furniture. Then somebody has to tell the carpenter when to work on what task so that each customer is happy. And every project has a different priority, and some come in and are rushed but are short, and some have a lot of work but have lower priority. That's essentially the task of the operating system, plus managing all the where anything connects to what. And yeah, so the personal computer servers and everything like this have these things. But the microcontrollers, they don't necessarily have them. Theoretically, you can add them, but most of the time you don't. Most of the time ooh, nice. Most of the time, ooh, no, I just barely missed 90 XP because I entered the cave too quickly. And oh. And the microcontroller, the default thing is you don't. Should I invest into other stuff? Let's invest into this for once. Can I? This is max, this is max, this is max. Counter attack, yes. Yeah, and you have a carpenter, and that needs and the difference, let's say the difference between a microcontroller and personal computer is the personal computer is like a company with various people, but one is the carpenter who does the actual work, and then there is a manager, and then there is a logistics guy, and there is whatever. The microcontroller is like a carpenter, but the carpenter is just one person who does everything, and he does everything himself. So there is no manager who does plans out. If he wants things planned out, he has to plan it out himself, and which is great. Often the projects are small enough that it is not needed. Then there are small versions of operating systems. They are called Arcuz. I'm not sure. In German, it's Arcuz. It's a real-time operating system. Anyway, and they are just like operating system, but considerably smaller. Like a small Linux, like Linux for embedded, for my field, which I was in, or I am in, is like 1 or 2 megabytes. These are small, tiny operating systems, and the Arcuz can be up to a few kilobytes. So, like 1,000 times smaller than, up to 1,000 times smaller than tiny operating systems. And So this is one thing which you could do, or you could just directly tell it all the tasks that it needs to do. You just say, okay, first you do this, then this, and if this happens, do this, and essentially do everything yourself. And if the tasks are not too big, then that's very easily doable. And next thing, just so you know, operating microcontrollers, they have data sheets of the size of a few, like for example 2,500 into one microcontroller sheet I remember, which I worked with. There's around 2,500 pages data sheet where everything is described, but actually essentially everything is described that needs describing. So of course there are still things missing, you can never describe everything, but I mean it's even down to bugs of the device. Actually that's in a different document of a few hundred pages, but still if you have worked with microcontrollers, you can essentially know everything. If you work with computers, then each individual component, like the graphics card, CPU, operating systems, individual programs, they all can have thousands and thousands of pages. So microcontrollers are still comparably small. And yeah, that's what I worked with in my job between bachelor and master. And then now I work currently at PLCs. No, not PLCs. At FPGAs. They are about the fastest thing you can work with. I mean, if you think computers are smart compared to fast. In a way, that's true if you have a lot of data and all you care about is how much data is processed per second. Then you're fast with a computer, especially with graphics cards. Or yeah, it depends on what you want to do. But if you want to have a extremely fast reaction time, it's like something happens and you want to see it immediately, do calculations and then react to it. For that, computers are not all that fast. I mean, to you, it's to somebody who doesn't know, it might be fast. Like milliseconds. Yeah, perhaps a tenth of a millisecond, if depending on what you do. I know I risk a lot by fighting this guy, and I gain essentially nothing because I mean it takes a long time, huge risk of dying, and it will be capped with a maximum XP amount anyway. So I won't get 1,000 XP, I will get probably 150, 100. Was it 161? Doesn't my 90? Okay, definitely not worth it. Let's go out again. At the same time I killed 3 of these enemies. And getting more of a symbol was harder to get more, but they were much faster. Yeah, anyway, oh, inventory is full, okay. Let's go, FPGAs the difference, the reason why they are that fast is because normal computers, they do one task after the next. Like they first add 1 plus 1, then they add 10 plus 3, and then they do this, and then they do that, and whatever. And that is nice and all, but as you can imagine, you're not all that fast. Graphics cards are better because they just say, okay, I do 1 plus 1, but I just do it 100 times at the same time. But the FPGAs, there you can essentially say, the FPGAs are less flexible, like you do in the beginning, you, how is it called? You pre-program every single thing. Level 3 poison, crunch of critical hit, HP recovery, and a lot of compose. I will definitely sell that guy. And HP after killing enemy, that's defense 17, and let's make it like this. Defense 9, defense 11, definitely sell this guy. Felt that is 8, 13, SP bonus. Yeah, where was I? I was saying FPGA. You have to pre-program every action, so you cannot just say press update or open this program or this program and then operating system. You can essentially have many programs, and this is better than this. It is. And you can have many program loaded, and if you say, okay, I want to do this, then this one takes all the resources, and if you want to do that, then that one takes all the resources. But in FPGA, you essentially you essentially fix already everything is running all the time, but everything is running in parallel. And since everything runs in parallel, it can work very fast. I mean, you don't, so you can imagine if, let's say, I want to add 1 plus 1 and I want to add 3 plus 5. When I do it on a computer, then I first have to do 1 plus 1 and then I do 3 plus 5. And in a FPGA, you both are just constantly being added at the same time. And yeah, that can make, or you can also do sequential stuff, but yeah, it's, yeah, anyway. That's a shield. 1% block. Oh, magic resistance. Then it's not worth anything to me. Yeah, everything is done at the same time, and at the fastest possible time as well. So I mean, each time you create a program, it calculates what is the optimal path and simulates it based on light speed. So yeah, it's fast. You can also go here, and you can go here. Yeah, it's based on light speed. Oh, yeah. No. Who are you? Where are you? You're the horn guy. St. Earth horn. And yeah, that's a PLC, FPGA, microcontroller. Yeah, both of these are very small, and actually the current one I use is from Sync, or Xilinx. Xilinx is the company, Sync is the type, and then they are system on chips. That means they have a processor like a computer, and they have a FPGA, and both are on the same chip. That means they can share the same resources. They can directly communicate with each other, which is nice. But it also means like I have two systems that I have to program, which is requires more knowledge and more expertise. But yeah, but for me, I noticed it's like I like the idea of programming this stuff, but I don't like to actually do it. I mean, I like it enough that I can do it, but I don't like it enough to enjoy it and be fascinated by it. And this is a kind of a field where you need to be fascinated by it, and everybody is. And it's And now I decided I go back to PLC programming. I did that in the first education I did was an apprenticeship, and why is the quest blinking? And PLC program is the first company I worked at. I don't want to say. It might spoil a bit or doxing type. Nothing too bad. For one, my name is already technically findable via my Benrex handle, and as soon as I start publishing books and stuff, I will collect the two names together anyway. So yeah, I guess let's say I worked at a company where we created PLCs, and I was doing the microcontroller stuff, but the other people were doing the operating system, and so I know how it works underneath. PLC is essentially for people not in the tech field of automation. I say it like this: PLCs are industrial computers, which is technically wrong. There are industrial computers. They are like personal computers, but with more reliability and other such things. But the PLC are deliberately made to be very easy to program for machines and stuff. So you don't have to educate the workforce as much, because a lot of the problems are already solved. It's also much easier to get certified, to get your machine certified, because since a lot of problems are already solved by the PLC creator, all of these you don't have to certify anymore. You only have to have a certification for your specific application that you add to it, but not everything else around it. And that is a huge help. Also, it's very modular. You can just, do you need an input for a door? You just buy a module for inputs, and then you can, once you buy the input, once you have the module, then you can attach to it the input, and since everything is normed, it's done with when it's equalized with norms, that everything is the same. I want to do. That was what I wanted. And this, good. This is level requirement 20. I'm 17, yeah, then I can do this. What is... Ah, flickering ironstone, yeah, makes sense. Quests. Rob Goods is in North Forest. Am I in the North Forest at the moment? Yeah. Okay, a quick check. 45 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, since all the problems are solved, it's, in my opinion, much easier to program. And yeah, I want to do more brain heavy stuff in my free time, so it's better to go into a field of work where I'm less taxed and I can still create, despite being less strained. I can still do a better job, and then I can also be less of a drag for the department. Yeah, and that's why I want to switch from one field of programming to another, and both are in the industry. Just one creates devices and the other creates the machines, and machines are easier. So yeah, that was a bit of background on my technology, and I hope my examples could help you understand how the various programmable devices differ. Yeah, I guess see you later in a week probably, or in the comments or whatever. Goodbye.